What if, suddenly, you realized that the shadows on the wall weren't just the absence of light, but echoes of parallel realms lurking just beyond the veil of reality? Imagine a solar eclipse in December, a celestial marvel in itself, but this time it unleashes something far more sinister, something beyond reason. This is the story of the Eclipse Station, a chronicle where the familiar and the mysterious entwine in a chilling embrace. It all began when the eclipse was announced as the astronomical highlight of the year. Anticipation surged in the quaint town of Haverhill, where locals eagerly awaited the cosmic display. But no one suspected that this eclipse would be anything but a routine event. On December 12th, the day of the eclipse, a peculiar fog enshrouded the town as the sun slowly dimmed. At first, the townsfolk were entranced by the phenomenon, but awe soon gave way to dread as the shadows began to act differently. Jack, a passionate astronomy enthusiast, chose to watch the eclipse from a nearby ridge. Armed with his telescope and a camera to capture the cosmic spectacle, he was ready for a day of wonder. But as the sun vanished behind the moon, Jack noticed something bewildering. The shadows of trees, buildings, and people didn't behave normally. They writhed and distorted in defiance of natural laws. Reality twisted before his eyes, sending shivers down his spine. As the shadows elongated, Jack glimpsed figures that didn't belong to this world. Ethereal entities emerged from the darkness, crossing the dimensional rift the eclipse had torn open. Initially, they were faint blurs at the edge of perception, but soon they became sharply defined. Jack attempted to document them with his camera, but the apparitions didn't register in the photos. It was as if they existed solely within the mind's eye, a curse or perhaps a twisted gift. Pandemonium gripped Haverhill. News outlets reported shadows with lives of their own, people vanishing without a trace, and inexplicable occurrences. Online forums exploded with wild theories, but Jack knew the truth. Something real and terrifying was unfolding. Determined to uncover the mystery, he unearthed an ancient local legend about a previous eclipse that had opened a similar gateway between dimensions. Jack's research came at a cost. His perception of reality fractured. Shadows followed him, and unseen eyes seemed ever watchful. He understood that these beings were far from harmless. They were predatory forces from parallel dimensions. Fear became a constant companion for Haverhill's residents. The shadows sowed distrust and paranoia, turning friends into enemies. Entire families barricaded themselves, while others tried to flee, only to discover that the shadows pursued them relentlessly. Desperate for answers, Jack contacted experts in paranormal science and quantum physics. A research team arrived, including Dr. Emily Collins, a quantum physicist, and Professor Samuel Everett, a renowned parapsychologist. Together, they sought to unravel the mystery. Emily theorized that the eclipse had triggered a quantum anomaly, a bridge between worlds. Samuel insisted the entities were intelligent and likely hostile. Their investigation led them to a long-abandoned observatory on the town's outskirts, steeped in dark folklore. Inside, they discovered cryptic texts outlining an ancient ritual to seal the breach. However, the texts were written in an indecipherable language. Dr. Alan Hughes, an expert in ancient linguistics, after painstaking analysis, he translated the ritual. Specific relics had to be placed at precise points within the observatory. These mystical keys were hidden throughout Haverhill, concealed in places of historic and spiritual importance. The team split up to retrieve the relics, facing mounting horrors. The shadows fought back with terrifying persistence, conjuring illusions and whispering dark promises. In a decrepit library, Jack, Emily, and Samuel uncovered records of failed 19th century cult experiments to manipulate the shadows. Meanwhile, at a ruined church, Dr. Hughes and local volunteers unearthed a lead box containing a powerful relic. Upon opening it, they experienced vivid, disorienting visions of alternate realities. Reunited at the observatory, they positioned the relics and began the ritual. As ancient words filled the air, the shadows intensified their assault. Jack's voice quivered, but Emily's firm resolve bolstered the group. Samuel sensed the shadows' growing desperation and urged them onward. The final moments were a chaotic blur of shadowy assaults and reality-bending terrors. Emily, connecting ancient lore with quantum fury, commanded the group to link hands, forming a human conduit. Together, they chanted the last lines. Suddenly, searing light pierced the darkness, forcing the shadows back into their dimension. The breach sealed with a deafening crack, leaving behind an unsettling stillness. Though Haverhill returned to relative normalcy, its people were forever marked. Jack meticulously chronicled the ordeal, determined to warn others. He, Emily, Samuel, and Dr. Hughes became living legends, protectors against forces beyond comprehension. Months later, subtle anomalies resurfaced. Jack, ever vigilant, reunited with Emily, who had developed a breach monitoring system. Their work caught the attention of a secretive government agency investigating the paranormal. Reluctantly, they accepted its resources, on their terms. As new breaches appeared worldwide, the team evolved into an elite task force, fighting to contain dimensional horrors. United by shared nightmares and unbreakable bonds, they pressed on, knowing that humanity's survival depended on their vigilance. The Eclipse Station remains a haunting tale of cosmic mysteries, reminding us of the thin barrier between reality and the unknown. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments below.